Remember to mute yourself, guys. Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Here we are, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and we are ready as conscious entrepreneurs to really master the laws of attraction, the law of creation of our dreams or all what we want. And of course, we have business vehicles, but if we don't vibrate, that's what we are learning here with Abraham Hicks, if we don't vibrate the frequency that can be attracting what we want, we are going to get burned out and probably don't get, our dreams fully manifested. So here we are every Saturday. So I want to welcome all of you in this side and all of you on the other side. And remember, if you want to be in the panel, yeah, that's a good sentence for the Halloween date, right? On the other side. But I mean, I want to say on the video here, is that remember to send an email to arne@unlimitednetwork.com so he can send you a link, special link, and you can, share here with us and really engage, fully into integrating, I think, all these teachings and learning that we are going through. And this time together that we are here now for a year and a half or more every Saturday is dedicated to conscious entrepreneurs, meaning that the ones that we choose to work from the inside out, and not only to have the actions that I know they are very necessary and inevitable, but is to really allow this inspired action, this action that comes from excitement, from passion, from gratitude, from joy, from the vision that we have for our own selves, and to allow that to start to move us, and to attract and manifest what we want. So we are working with the book that is called Money and the Law of Attraction from Abraham Hicks. You have here the book, and today we are going to start part 3. That is I mean, we really went through understanding how important it is to have our own story, I mean, to change the story that runs our minds, and we understand in the beginning of this book, the importance of to switch, when you have something negative, to really learn how that is pointing to something positive, and to pivot, to master the change there. So our thinking is really the drive force here. And we ended up our part 2 with understanding of how important it is to have a wonderful story about your wealth and how happy you are. And in my case, that I do want to manifest financial freedom, to really feel it and to see it and to tell my story again and again, so that becomes easier. But it's true that we are going to start the part 3 right now. That I was reading yesterday, to prepare for today, and I mean, money is going to flow, but if we don't vibrate well, it's going to be hard. And it's all about well-being. And I would like to welcome Doc Fran, that is our teacher, master leader here, like helping us to read and to really get the information of these books, amazing books that we are choosing to learn from. And he will start with this part, and after we will comment. And if you have questions, please write that on your box there on your right side, and we can answer questions if you have. So welcome, Doc Fran. Here we are, ready to jump into.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is what I like to refer to as a Chamber of Commerce day here in South Florida. It's about 81 degrees. Clear, cloudless blue sky. There's about a 7-knot breeze, which will increase to about 12 or 13 by the time we're out racing this afternoon on our sailboats. So another reason to be in joy. And I'm looking at 4 other reasons that I'm in joy all the time. When I get to spend an hour here with this master panel and others that join us from time to time. So. And Monica, I loved your comment, and one thing I do want to make sure that everyone understands clearly, and that is that right this instant, every one of us that are on this call, and in fact every person on this planet, is enjoying their position in the flow of abundance on this planet. That is an immutable law. It never changes. It never ceases. It doesn't pick favorites. And you are in the flow right now. And the amount of flow that you're experiencing is exactly the result of your willingness and your belief in experiencing it. So that's what we're working on. If you have a sensation from time to time that the amount of flow in your life is not in an abundant level that you want it to be, then how can we change our vibrational pattern? How can we change our point of attraction so that we remove all of the blocks and stops to this endless abundant flow of all things? Now, most of us focus in on money. We've been heavily trained and ingrained from birth to understand that money is a great thing and an important thing, and we need to have more of it. And as a result, we've got more impediments to the flow of money probably than we do to the flow of sex in our lives. Those are the two big stumbling blocks. So I'm loving this book, and it really is pointing out, I'm actually learning things myself all the time now that are of use, and little tweaks, little changes that I can make in my thought process. And I'll reinforce the last one, and then we'll start into today's trainings. Last week we learned that just as the flow, the abundant flow of oxygen in and out of our bodies is there forever, from the minute you draw your first breath to the minute you draw your last, and we do it without any thought whatsoever. There is no block on allowing oxygen to flow in and out of our bodies through breathing. And we can have the flow of everything in our life: friends, family, love, relationships, satisfaction, beauty, joy, and yes, folks, sex and money. So let's work on how can we remove the blocks that we create and install to impede the flow of things in our life. So section 3, we're almost halfway through the book here, is entitled Maintaining My Physical Well-Being. My thoughts create my physical experience. The idea of success for most people revolves around money or the acquisition of property or other possessions, but we consider a state of joy as the greatest achievement of success. And while the attainment of money and wonderful possessions certainly can enhance your state of joy, the achievement of a good feeling physical body is by far the greatest factor for maintaining a continuing state of joy and well-being. For every part of your life is experienced through the perspective of your physical body, and when you feel good, everything you see looks better. Certainly it is possible to maintain a good attitude even when your physical body is diminished in some way, but a good feeling body is a powerful basis for an ongoing good attitude. And so it is not surprising that since the way you feel affects your thoughts and attitudes about things, and since your thoughts and attitudes equal your point of attraction, and since your point of attraction equals the way your life continues to play out, there are few things of greater value than the achievement of a good feeling body. It's quite interesting to note that not only does a good feeling body promote positive thoughts, but that also positive thoughts promote a good feeling body. That means you do not have to be in a perfect state of health in order to find feelings of relief that eventually can lead to a wonderful mood or attitude. For if you are able to somehow find that relief even when your body is hurting or sick, you will find physical improvement because your thoughts create your reality. Complaining about complaining is also complaining. Oh, many complain. Oh, it's so easy to complain, isn't it? Many complain that it is easy to be optimistic when you are young and in good health, but that it is very difficult when you are older or sicker. But we never encourage using your age or a current state of failing health as a limiting thought that disallows improvement or recovery. Most people have no idea of the power of their own thoughts. They do not realize as they continue to find things to complain about, they disallow their own physical well-being. Many do not realize that before they were complaining about an aching body or a chronic disease, they were complaining about many other things first. It does not matter if the object of your complaint is about someone you are angry with, someone who has betrayed you, behavior in others that you believe is wrong, or something wrong with your own physical body. Complaining is complaining, and it disallows recovery. So whether you are feeling good and are looking for a way to maintain that good feeling state of being, or if your physical body is diminished in some way and you are looking for recovery, the process is the same. Learn to guide your thoughts in the direction of things that feel good and discover the power that only comes from vibrational alignment with Source. As you continue to read this book, things you have known long before you were born will be remembered, and you will feel a resonance with these laws and processes that will give you a feeling of empowerment. And then all that is required for the achievement and maintenance of a healthy, good-feeling body is some deliberate attention to thoughts and feelings and a sincere desire to feel good. I can feel good in my body. If you're not feeling good or looking the way you want to look, it has a way of reflecting out into all other aspects of your life experience. And it is for that reason that we want to emphasize the value in bringing your physical body into balance and comfort and well-being. There is nothing in the universe that responds faster to your thoughts than your own physical body. And so aligned thoughts bring a quick response and obvious results. Your physical well-being is really the easiest of subjects over which you have absolute control, for it is what you are doing about you. However, because you are translating everything in this world through the lens of how your physical body feels, if you do get out of balance, it can negatively affect a larger part of your life than only your physical body. You are never more clear about wanting to be healthy and to feel good than when you are sick and feeling bad. And so the experience of being sick is a powerful launching pad for the asking for wellness. So if, in the moment that your sickness has caused you to ask for wellness, you could turn your undivided attention to the idea of being well, it would occur immediately. But for most, now that you are feeling bad, that is what has your attention. Once you are sick, it is logical that you would now notice how you feel, and in doing so, you would prolong the sickness. But it was not your attention to the lack of wellness that made you sick. Instead, it was your attention to the lack of many things that you desire. Chronic attention to unwanted things holds you in a place of disallowing your physical well-being, as well as disallowing the solutions to other subjects you are focused upon. If you could focus your attention upon the idea of experiencing physical well-being with as much passion as you focus upon the absence of it, not only would your recovery come quickly, but maintaining your physical well-being and balance would also be easy. Words do not teach, but life experience does. Simply hearing words, even when they are perfect words that accurately explain truths, does not bring understanding. But the combination of careful words of explanation coupled with life experience that is always consistent with the laws of the universe does bring understanding. It is our expectation that as you read this book and live your life, you will achieve a complete understanding of how all things occur in your experience, and you will accomplish complete control in all aspects of your own life, especially things that have to do with your own body. Perhaps your physical condition is exactly as you want it to be. If that is the case, then continue to focus upon your body as it is, feeling appreciation for the aspects that are pleasing you, and you will maintain that condition. But if there are changes that you would like to make, whether it is in appearance or stamina or wellness, then it will be of great value for you to begin telling a different story, not only about your body, but about all subjects that have been troubling to you. As you begin to positively focus, getting to feel so good about so many subjects that you often feel passion rise up within you, you will begin to feel the power of the universe, the power that creates worlds flowing through you. You are the only one who creates in your experience. No one else does. Everything that comes to you comes by the power of your thought. I'm going to read that sentence again, folks. You are the only one who creates in your experience. No one else. Everything that comes to you comes by the power of your thought. When you focus long enough that you feel passion, you harness more power and you achieve greater results. The other thoughts, while they are important and have creative potential, usually are only maintaining what you have already created. And so, many people continue to maintain unwanted physical experiences simply by offering consistent, not powerful, not accompanied by strong emotion, thoughts. In other words, they merely continue telling the same stories about things that seem unfair or unwanted things that they disagree with, and in so doing, they maintain unwanted conditions. The simple intention of telling better feeling stories about all subjects that you focus upon will have a great effect on your physical body. But since words do not teach, it is our suggestion that you try telling a different story for a while and observe for yourself what happens. The law of attraction expands my every thought. The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. In other words, that which you think in any moment attracts unto itself other thoughts that are like it. That is why whenever you are thinking about a subject that is not pleasant, more unpleasant thoughts regarding that subject are quickly drawn. You find yourself in very short order not only experiencing what you're experiencing in this moment, but reaching into your past for more data that matches that vibration. And now, by the law of attraction, as your negative thoughts expand proportionately, so does your negative emotion. Since you find yourself discussing the unpleasant subject with others, soon you find yourself discussing the unpleasant subject with others, and now they add to it, often reaching into their past, until in a very short period of time, most of you, upon any subject that you ponder very long, attract enough supporting data that it does bring forth the essence of the subject of the thought into your experience. It's natural that by knowing what you do not want, you are able to clarify what you do want. And there is nothing wrong with identifying a problem before beginning to look for a solution. But many people over time become problem-oriented rather than solution-oriented. And in their examination and explanation of the problem, they continue the perpetuation of the problem. Again, telling a different story is of great value. Tell a solution-oriented story instead of a problem-oriented story. If you wait until you are sick before you begin to try to focus more positively, it is much harder than if you begin to tell the story of well-being from your place of feeling good. But in any case, your new story will, in time, bring you different results. That which is like unto itself is drawn. So tell the story you want to live, and you will eventually live it. Some people worry that since they are already sick, they cannot now be well because their sickness now has their attention, and therefore their attention to sickness is perpetuating more sickness. We agree. That would be correct if they only have the ability to focus upon what is at this time. But since it is possible to think about things other than what is happening right now, it is possible for things to change. However, you cannot focus only upon current problems and get change. You have to focus upon the positive results you are seeking in order to get something different. The law of attraction is responding to your thought, not to your current reality. When you change the thought, your reality must follow suit. If things are going very well for you right now, then focus upon that which is happening now will cause the well-being to continue. But if there are things that are happening now that are not pleasing, you must find a way of taking your attention away from those unwanted things. You have the ability to focus your thoughts about yourself, about your body, and about the things that matter to you in a different direction from only what is happening right now. You have the ability to imagine things that are coming on or to remember things that have happened before, and when you do so with the deliberate intent of finding good feeling things to think about and speak about, you can quickly change your patterns of thought and therefore your vibration and eventually your life experience. 15 minutes to my intentional well-being. It is not easy to imagine a healthy foot when your toe is painfully throbbing, but it is of great value for you to do everything that you can to distract yourself from your throbbing toe. However, a time of acute physical discomfort is not an effective time to try to visualize well-being. The best time to do that is when you are feeling the best you usually feel. In other words, if you usually feel physically better during the first part of the day, choose that time for the visualization of your new story. If you usually feel best after taking a long warm bath, choose that time for visualization. Set aside approximately 15 minutes where you can close your eyes and withdraw as much as possible from your awareness of what is. Try to find a quiet place where you will not be distracted, and imagine yourself in a state of physical thriving. Imagine walking briskly and breathing deeply and enjoying the flavor of the air you are breathing. Imagine walking briskly up a gentle incline and smile in appreciation of the stamina of your body. See yourself bending and stretching and enjoying the flexibility of your body. Take your time exploring pleasant scenarios with the sole intent of enjoying your body and appreciating its strength and stamina and flexibility and beauty. When you visualize for the joy of visualizing rather than with the intention of correcting some deficiency, never do that, do we? Your thoughts are more pure and therefore more powerful. When you visualize to overcome something that is wrong, or your thoughts are diluted with the lackful side of the equation, sometimes people explain that they have held that they have long-held desires that have not manifested, and they argue that the law of attraction is not working for them. But that is because they have been asking for improvement from a place of keen awareness of the lack of what they desire. It takes time to reorient your thoughts so that they are predominantly focused towards what you want, but in time it will feel perfectly natural to you to do so. In time, your new story will be the one that you tell most easily. If you do take the time to positively imagine your body, those good feeling thoughts will become dominant, and then your physical condition must acquiesce to those thoughts. If you only focus upon the conditions as they exist, nothing will change. As you imagine and visualize and verbalize your new story, in time you will believe the new story. And when that happens, the evidence will flow swiftly into your experience. A belief is only a thought you continue to think. And when your beliefs match your desires, then your desires must become your reality. Nothing stands between you and anything that you desire other than your own patterns of thought. There is no physical body, no matter what the state of decline, no matter what the conditions, that cannot achieve an improved condition. Nothing else in your experience responds as quickly as your own physical body to your patterns of thought. I'll turn the fan on here. Hold on 1 second. I am not bound by others' beliefs. With a little bit of effort focused in the right direction, you will achieve remarkable results. And in time, you will remember that you can be or do or have anything that you focus upon and achieve vibrational alignment with. You came into your physical body and into this physical world from your non-physical perspective. And you were very clear about your intentions to be here. You did not define all the details of your physical life experience before you got here, but you did set forth clear intentions about the vitality of your physical body from which you would create your life experience. You felt enormous eagerness to be here. When you first arrived in your small infant body, you were closer to the inner world than to the physical world, and your sense of well-being and strength was very strong. But as time passed and you became focused more into your physical world, you began to observe others who had lost their strong connection to well-being. And bit by bit, your sense of well-being began to fade as well. It is possible to be born into this physical world and continue to maintain your connection to who you really are and to your absolute well-being. However, most people, once they are focused into this time-space reality, do not. The primary reason for the fading of your awareness of personal well-being is the clamoring of those around you for you to find ways to please them. While your parents and teachers are, for the most part, well-meaning people, they are nevertheless more interested in your finding ways to please them than in your finding ways to please yourself. And so, in the process of socialization, almost all people in almost all societies lose their way because they are coaxed or coerced away from their own guidance system. Most societies demand that you make your action your top priority. You are rarely encouraged to consider your vibrational alignment or your connection to your inner world. Most people eventually become motivated by the approval or disapproval that is directed at them by others. And so, with their misplaced attention upon accomplishing the action that is most respected by the onlookers of their lives, they lose their alignment, and then everything in their experience is diminished. But you were eager about being born into this physical world of such amazing variety because you understood the value of that contrast from which you would build your own experience. You knew that you would come to understand from your own experience what you preferred from the variety of options that would be available to you. Whenever you know what you do not want, you understand more clearly what it is that you do want. But so many people take that first step of identifying what is not wanted, and instead of then turning towards what is wanted and achieving the vibrational alignment with that, they instead continue to talk about what they do not want. And in time, the vitality that they were born with wanes. There is time enough to accomplish it. When you do not understand the power of thought and you do not take the time to align your thought to allow this power, you are then resigned to create through the power of your action, which comparatively is not much. And so, if you have been working hard with your action to accomplish something and you have not managed to achieve it, often you feel overwhelmed or incapable of now making it happen. Some people simply feel they do not have enough time left in their lives to be and do and have the things that they have dreamed of. But we want you to understand that if you will take the time to deliberately align with the energy that creates worlds through the power of focusing your thoughts, you will discover a leverage that will help you quickly accomplish things that have formerly seemed not possible. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have once you accomplish the necessary alignment. And when you do, your own life experience will give you the evidence of your alignment. before things actually manifest, your proof of alignment comes in the form of positive, good-feeling emotion. And if you understand that, then you will be able to hold steady to your course while the manifestations of the things you desire are making their way to you. The law of attraction says, that which is like unto itself is drawn. Whatever your state of being, whatever the way you feel, what you are attracting more of is the essence of that. To want or desire something always feels good when you believe you can achieve it. But desire is the face of doubt. But desire in the face of doubt feels very uncomfortable. We want you to accomplish the understanding. Oh boy, I'm sorry today. We want you to understand that wanting something and believing you can accomplish it is a state of alignment, while wanting something and doubting it is misalignment. Wanting and believing is alignment. Wanting and expecting is alignment. Expecting something unwanted is not alignment. You can feel your alignment or misalignment. Why do I want perfect bodily conditions? Although it may seem strange to you, you cannot begin to address your physical body without addressing your non-physical roots and your eternal connection to those roots, because you, in your physical body, are an extension of that inner being. In very simple terms, in order to be at your maximum state of health and well-being, you must be in vibrational alignment with your inner being. And in order to do that, you must be aware of your emotions or feelings. Your physical state of well-being is directly related to your vibrational alignment of your inner being or source, which means every thought that you think on every subject can positively or negatively affect that connection. In other words, it is not possible to maintain a healthy physical body without a keen awareness of your emotions and determination to direct your thoughts toward good-feeling subjects. When you remember that feeling good is natural and you make an effort to find the positive aspects of the subjects that you are considering, you will train your thoughts to match the thoughts of your inner being. And that is of tremendous advantage to your physical body. When your thoughts are chronically feeling good, your physical body will thrive. Of course, there is a broad range of emotions, from those that feel very bad to those that feel very good. But in any moment in time, because of whatever you're focused upon, you actually only have two choices in emotion, a better feeling one or a worse feeling one. So you could accurately say there are really only two emotions, and you effectively utilize your guidance system when you deliberately choose the better feeling of those two options. And in so doing, in time, you can tune yourself to the precise frequency of your inner being. And when you do that, your physical body will thrive. I can trust my internal inner being. Your inner being is the source part of you that continues to evolve through the thousands of life experiences that you live. And with each sifting and sorting experience, the source within you always chooses the best feeling of the available choices, which means your inner being is eternally tuning itself to love and joy and all that is good. That is the reason that when you choose to love another or yourself rather than find fault, you feel good. Good feeling is confirmation of your alignment with your source. When you choose thoughts that are out of alignment with source, which produces an emotional response like fear or anger or jealousy, those feelings indicate your vibrational variance from source. Source never turns away from you, but offers a steady vibration of well-being. And so when you feel negative emotion, it means that you are preventing your vibrational access to source and to the stream of well-being. As you begin telling stories about your body and your life and your work and the people in your life that feel good, as you tell them, you will achieve a steady connection with that stream of well-being that is ever flowing to you. But as you focus upon things that you desire, feeling positive emotion as you focus, you access the power that creates worlds, and you flow it toward your object of attention. What is the role of thought in traumatic injuries? Jerry, are traumatic injuries caused in the same way that diseases are created, and can they be resolved through thought? Are they like a breakage of something that happened in a momentary incident as opposed to a long series of thoughts leading up to it? Abraham responds, whether the trauma to your body seemed to come suddenly as a result of an accident, or whether it came from a disease such as cancer, you have created the situation through you have created the situation through your thought, and the healing will come through your thought as well. Chronic thoughts of ease promote wellness, while chronic stressful or resentful or hateful or fearful thoughts promote disease. But whether the result shows up suddenly, as in falling and breaking your bones, or more slowly, as in cancer, whatever you are living always matches the balance of your thoughts. Once you have experienced the diminishment of well-being, whether it has come as broken bones or internal diseases, it is not likely that you will suddenly find good-feeling thoughts that match those of your inner being. In other words, if before your accident or disease you were not choosing thoughts that aligned with well-being, it is not likely that now that you are faced with discomfort or pain or a frightening diagnosis, you will now suddenly find that alignment. It is much easier to achieve great health from moderate health than to achieve great health from poor health. However, you can get to whatever you want to be from wherever you are if you are able to distract your attention from the unwanted aspects of your life and focus upon aspects that are more pleasing. It really is only a matter of focus. Sometimes a frightening diagnosis or traumatic injury is a powerful catalyst in getting you to focus your attention more deliberately on things that do feel good. In fact, some of our best students of deliberate creation are those who have been given a frightening diagnosis where doctors have told them that there is nothing more that can be done for them, who now, since they have no other options, deliberately begin to focus their thoughts. It is interesting that so many people will not do what really works until all other options have been exhausted. But we do understand that you have acclimated to your action-oriented world. And so action does seem to most of you to be the best first option. We are not guiding you away from action, but instead encouraging that you find better feeling thoughts first and then follow with the action that you feel inspired to. Whoa. My distraction, like when I stumble in reading, it's because what I've read has stimulated a thought in my mind, a relationship to a life experience perhaps, or a person, something that may have occurred a long time ago, or something that occurred virtually recently or synonymously this week. And so all of a sudden my attention goes from reading the words perfectly on this page that I'm looking at to focused on my thought. And so as a result, I may skip a word or misread a word. So I had so many things flooding in. I absolutely love this chapter from today because I can't wait till the discussion at the end and relate to you some of the absolutely miraculous life experiences that I have personally enjoyed as a result of the application of this very law that they're talking about, these very actions that they're describing to us today. So I can tell you from personal experience that, folks, this really works. This is really important. So, Monica, let's open up the panel.
Thank you. woohoo, like you said. Oh my gosh, this is like my entire body is like shaking here, you know. And I'm really understanding here. I mean, yes, understanding, I think, or really getting more deeply in, you know, the power of focus. I mean, it's so, you know, I'm remembering the movie of The Secret, when you see that guy that has this airplane accident, you know, that is completely at the hospital with the tubes and like whatever. How can you imagine and play and enjoy, you know, your being running and walking when you are paralyzed, you know, something like that. And I see my case, you know, like this tiny thing, I don't know, maybe looking to have a better life here, a better life there, and I keep like facing the wall of the habit, conditioning of, you know, complain, like we were saying today. Yeah, I complain less and less, but keeps, you know, it's kind of the easy thing to do, even though maybe it's not the pleasant, but it's what I'm habituated to. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to say thank you for being here together, because really empowers me to keep going in the perseverance of mastering my focus on, you know, and to just look what I want to see, you know. Oh my gosh, I feel like very touched today. But I want to hear all of you guys, and like you were saying, Doc Fran, you know, to really hear the experiences where we see the results when we have to apply something like this, and the switch, you know, in our inner being, to really feel gratitude. Now I understand. I mean, I wrote so many things here, you know, but it's like the to get the point of doing the visualization or the imagination or focusing, directing my thought for the pleasure of it, because I'm playing, because I'm a playful being, instead because I want to correct something, or I want to escape from some situation, or I would like something different because I don't like where. Oh my gosh, it's so subtle, you know, and whew. So I'm taking a deep breath here, and let's see who is ready to share, to help us to empower ourselves to do this journey that for sure I am doing. And I can see, you know, that this chapter is really pushing me towards, you know, like, you keep doing this, okay, and you're going to master it, because this is where we are, masters of creation here. So who would like to who is ready to open the microphone? Yeah, no, Arne, yes, one second.
Hello. Yeah, not so much to say today. It's so deep, and I get back to that place of where we focus on the complaining part, the negative part, and to be aware of, yeah, that's not a good thing to do, and still having a certain amount of addiction to the habit of the other one. Even though I know don't do that, the habit to change the automatic way the mind works, the way the focus works. You know, I keep looking at the same thing, and no, don't look at that. And to get out of that, takes a lot of attention and choice. And then on the other side is the pleasure. I know certain things that makes me feel good. Going for half an hour walk and just not think about anything and just enjoying the nature, or sailing. And where I am now, I can do a half an hour walking with the choice of experiencing pleasure of walking and being in nature. I have that when I do that, and then I get busy with work. You know, I want to accomplish this and this and that, and to choose the pleasure part, at least, you know, half an hour a day, or sometimes bring it into the my daily routine, whether in the morning or when I feel it. So I have two sides to focus on not complaining, focus on what's good, or focus away from what I complain about, because I know that's distraction, into the pleasure of sleeping as much as I want to, feeling good like that, exercising or walking, and enjoying my activity, especially inside my body. I can feel that. So that's what I have.
Wow, thank you, Arne. You are real life here. And yes, we are all, growing in this direction. I love, to me, one tricky thing, and it's so interesting, the teachings here, but like the spiritual conflict that I can have inside, between to really allow what is, what is in the moment. Like how many of us, we have heard that from Eckhart Tolle and all these spiritual teachings that I love, completely love. But the truth is, like, when I not focus mentally on what is, but when I embrace what is entirely, let's say, with complete full awareness, I mean, that what is really melts and is not uncomfortable or nothing like that. So I'm fine-tuning, to respect what is, but mentally talking, I really feel today like, hey, mind, we are going to work a little harder here, just to really notice how long I can keep my focus maintained on something that I do choose to focus on, and I think that for me, that power that we have, but I need to master, because I can think 5 minutes, something beautiful, and then I spend, like you say, half an hour feeling good. No, 24 hours feeling good. 24 hours a day feeling good, it's like this has to be my priority, So to first, I think, to understand that I can learn how to focus on what I want, period, and to see if I can master that. So thank you for just saying our human journey here, because this is easy to say, again, like I always say, and now we are integrating, we are embodying, and we are catching ourselves, like Doc Fran, you were starting the call today saying, how do we stop the flow? Well, this is how we do it, So, and I see you, Celio, open. Yes, welcome.
Interesting, Monica, what you said relating to Eckhart Tolle, because I think when Abraham talks about what is precisely the what is that is not in alignment. When you are aligned, then the what is the right point to manifest, is the right point to pivot, right, to ask the universe, because then you're aligned and then you're not in lack. So it's very important point that you made. I think it's essential to understand that once you're aligned, then you're open to the flow. It's like automatic. You're aligned and you're open to the flow. And then it's not like, because otherwise, if you're not aligned, of course, you're looking at the what is around that you don't like, or it doesn't make you feel good, and then that cannot create health or wealth or anything like that. And I just want to be short, because I'm really, expecting for Dr. Fran to tell us something I feel very, very interesting today. But this, what they say today about the chronic attention to unwanted things, because we have that chronic attention where all the time, and it's something so deep, just to understand that we have that. It's like a disease. It's like, even if everything seems honky-dory and you're in full health, and I mean, the lottery has arrived, and you have made an incredible business or whatever, something there is chronically like wanted you to not align, just to interfere with the flow. So I think that's very important, because it does affect health, which is the point of these lines. And I just love it, because it's really so true. Health is the most important part of the equation to create, and in order to comply with the world's energy, and in my case personally, with with the energy of other businessmen and people are doing things with, they're totally not in alignment and totally not in the flow. I gave in to not having these exams that I'm going to have next week for since April. Was like, this is crazy. And this first comes my health, and the decision and the action, not the action of the of the mind, but what, the right action, the action of the flow came aligned with this book, with this situation. So I'm just elated, because I see that in order to create financial wealth, I have to feel 100% fit. And I'm really grateful that Abraham makes such a point, and we all make this point, this point. Health comes first, and then all the flow, and then everything, and then deepening in what that health means and how to allow it. So I think it's so important today for that.
Thank you, Celio. Yes, you inspire me a lot with your passion here. But I was thinking, okay, today that is Halloween. we can. Okay, what how you say disfraz? What costume are you going to choose here? Well, I'm going to choose my radiant, healthy, like financial free person here. Like, yes, that's the costume that I want to embody and to radiate today. We can choose that, and you're totally right. I mean, that's our learning right now. To be inspiring each other, so we can focus.
It's out. It's out. Monica, we cannot hear you, I think. We cannot hear you. Okay, now not bad.
Yeah, I think Arne and Monica are both bumped off. Their connection was lost. Well, I don't, and that's funny because we didn't lose the whole thing. Anyway, who else would like to give us their thoughts here while we're waiting for Arne and Monica to reconnect? There. Candace, there we go. Now I hear you.
Okay, had to shift a little thing.
Thank you,
Wow.
Celio.
Thanks, Delio. That's always so, you always are so passionate. That's just great. And that's something that I am experiencing moments of that last longer, is that passionate state of being in it's such a creative mode. A long time ago, I heard that ecstasy is the most efficient frame of mind. And I really like that. And moving into passion about whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, is an ecstatic state. And every little moment we have is a doorway where that is available to us. So what am I going to choose? Choosing to head in that direction, I end up there a lot more frequently. And I also had a thought about, are we moving towards something, or are we moving away from something? And that's an important focus about the choice. Am I moving away from that thing I don't want?
We hear an echo. Somebody turn off their...
Oh, it's my problem. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Got it?
Well, go ahead, Candace, go ahead.
That sounds better. My thought was, are we moving away from something we don't want? Are we moving towards something we do want? So if I say I don't want to eat tomatoes, am I focused on the tomatoes, or am I focused on the rest of the salad that I do want to eat? No, I'm definitely focused on that yummy salad, and I've forgotten the tomatoes because they're in the past. And that has to do with what Abraham was talking about, identifying the problem, tomatoes, and coming up with a solution. So for me, it was an important point to get to see that that we identify the problem of what we don't want. To take the moment to do that, take the time to identify it, and then just move on. What do I want to do here? What's my frame of mind, the thoughts that I want to have about this situation that's going to move me in the direction in which I want to go. Happy Halloween.
Thank you, Candace. Beautiful. Happy Halloween. Yes. So let's see if we have any other comment until we welcome here Doc Fran to tell us. Yes, Heidi, welcome.
Oh, I had to chuckle when Doc Fran said about why he would lose his chain of thought, because I love having those aha moments when you're reading, and then I write them in the margins all the time. So I understand when he would the mind would click into a story in your head of the scenario of that situation. And it's unbelievable how this is the chapter we're on, and this is exactly what I'm going through right now. because remember, you guys did a juice cleanse, I saw on Facebook, right? And I said that I was going to be starting mine. I leave tomorrow to go away to a little cabin in Michigan right on the lake, and I'm doing a 10-day cleanse, and it's going to be about healing mind, body, spirit, and taking with all these ideas that I've had in my head and really get my physical body up so that my mind is clearer, and like Celio said, coming from a place of alignment, and then from alignment making the decisions as opposed to, you know, in your state of angst, you know. And then when Doc Fran read on page 106 about you know, we know who we are, we came to earth with who we are, but it's the people around you that sometimes pull you out of that. And that's exactly with a friend going through a divorce, and my mom wants all of my attention, and like 5 other people trying to suck things from me that I'm not directing inwardly toward me. This chapter comes at the perfect time. My going away comes at the perfect time. I just love it. And exactly when Candace just said, are we moving towards something we want or away from something we don't? I'm going, yes, I'm going to start making a list of all that I want and just start like picturing myself running toward that. And then when Arnie was talking about, you know, going for a walk in nature, and Doc Fran's talking about 81 degrees, I'm laughing because here I'm looking at my gorgeous fall colors and like a 65-degree day where you snuggle with your sweatshirt, and I get to drive to Michigan. And yesterday when I was walking my dog, and my head was kind of in the, I started the dog walk with this, what I have to do and things I need to get done before I go. And I wanted to end the dog walk a little earlier. And Roxy said, no, Mom, I still want to go around the park. And by the time we were coming back around the park, I looked at her and I said, thank you for extending the walk, because now I'm coming from that place of, thank you for that extra time. That just needed that resetting type of thing. So, yes. Awesome. Thank you guys all. I just love I wish I could start every day like this, right?
Yes. Well, we have the gift of every Saturday, but thank you
I think
so
I'm
much.
going to do the recordings every day. I think I'm just going to go do a recording and start my day like that.
Great point. Great point.
I just decided that.
Great for everybody to know. unlimitednetwork.com/mastermind, and you have all the recordings right there. But thank you so much, Heidi, and you know, you can do it. So I will think about you when you are in your cabin right there. Beautiful. So let's see if Doc Fran, we are ready to hear your wisdom here. Maybe you're ready. Yes, you are.
Well, thank you, everyone. What a fabulous day, and you know, it really is exciting, and the whole experience of life is finding joy in creations, and when you're creating what you really do want, you find great joy. And as Abraham says, yeah, it's a lot easier to always stay in joy if you perceive everything is going your way. So that's really a key point. Just perceive everything is going your way, because it literally, truly, eternally is, regardless of what is, as he likes to put out, in terms of the reality. So joys of creation can be simple things, such as the creation of a model ship, which, let me see, there we go, we're backwards here. Just, my kids bought me this model of the Cuddy Sark about 12 years ago. And I have wanted to build this model for 12 years, but I never felt that I had the time or the resources to commit to doing it. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I started building this ship. This is a box of strip wood, which has now been created into the hull form that you see. It's quite a substantial model. And so the joy of building this, creating something from a box of sticks, is really amazing. Now, along with starting to build, you saw my other model that I finished, because I really started building models again about 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. And I do it every day, and I do it for hours every day. And it puts me into such joy. So whether it's a physical thing like that you like to do, if it's sewing, if it's crocheting, if it's painting, drawing, anything creative that you do is in alignment with your inner being, because our inner beings are literally the source of all creation. We are the energy that created worlds. So how many of you have noticed that, and it seems to me that it's always easier to perhaps create things of great value or for others than ourselves? We seem to be able to do things external to ourselves and create effects external to ourselves which are greater than what we can do for ourselves on a regular, continuous basis. So one of the things that keyed in while we were doing this is when I was in practice in 1980, 81, there was what they called the 100-year storm in Wilmington, and areas in the city flooded, and I lived in one of those areas because we were next to Shellpot Creek. And so there was a great hue and cry among the community that we were overbuilding and paving, and that the paving was the source of the flooding, because we were altering the landscape and absorbing the planet's ability to absorb the extra water when necessary. So I became the president of a little community group and initiated some actions to work to preserve a 12-mile strip of land around the north side of Wilmington to create a greenway or an open space to prevent the constant infill from developers and completely obliterate it. So that was the north, it was called the Rock Manor Park Preservation Council initially. And so as developers are wont to do, and people who have a lot of power and a lot of money, they do things kind of underhandedly. Well, on Thanksgiving morning at 8 o'clock, this developer moved his bulldozers and tractors onto a plot of land that we had our eye on as the keystone to creating this 12-mile, and he started trying to clear cut it. So I became the plaintiff in a lawsuit that morning. We got a judge out of bed on Thanksgiving Day who came to court, heard our argument, and issued an immediate injunction to cease and desist against this developer who was tied into the DuPont family, which is the largest, most powerful and influential family in Delaware. And that was the beginning of an initiative. And I maintained a constant, clear vision. And I had no idea what I was doing at that point, because I wasn't anywhere near the level of consciousness that I, think that I possess today. And yet, like Abraham tells us, these traits are in all of us. They are innate, inborn, ingrained, absolutely powerful, skilled traits that we all possess, because we are literally God, each and every one of us. And so by stopping that and creating a vision of this beautiful corridor of green that would serve as a forever perpetual barrier and open space, I maintained that vision in the face even of opposition from people within it. We went on because as I continued to verbalize my vision, and those things continued to occur as manifestations in life, we ended up forging an unprecedented alliance between federal, state, county, local governments, right down to the agency level, where everyone bought into this concept and bought into it at a level where they viewed it as their own initiative. It was a really remarkable thing. And we would hold these big fundraisers, And it was an amazing, amazing experience. And I would always say, they would say, well, we probably could get 50 or 60 people there. And I said, no, we're going to get about 300 or 400 people there. Oh, you're great. Well, fine. So we'd have 500 people show up at the event. And from then, I mean, then they started to believe it. As more and more people got the belief, isn't it funny how the manifestations continued to miraculously affect? Well, today, that little Rock Manor Park Preservation Council evolved into Northern Delaware Greenways and then into a statewide standing agency called Delaware Greenways, where at this moment there's well over 1,000 miles of greenway in the state of Delaware, connecting virtually every point in the state. And you cannot build a development, a subdivision, a road, or anything unless you have a greenway connection component in your master plan, because we have literally been written into the entire planning law and model for the state of Delaware. So remarkable, remarkable accomplishments for the greater good. Someday I'll show you pictures of this greenway. It's absolutely stunning to me. When we went back about 5 years ago, I went back and actually walked on areas of this greenway that had just been completed within the last 2 years. And you know, you talk about an absolutely amazing personal experience. And I hate to focus on myself, but you know, these points are so powerful. I've trained a lot of times about your agreements. Agreements are so important. And John Ruiz wrote about the 4 agreements, and I urge all of us to read that book. But agreements are far more personal to each and every one of us. And when you talk about health, when you talk about the prognostication of someone in whom we place trust and believe, it can work for us and it can work against us. Never lose sight of the fact that you are the creator of your experience, not someone else's dictated prognostication. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, in 1997, I started having pain in my right arm. I thought it was from a muscle spasm from winching my sailboat too aggressively. But it persisted and got worse to the point where I lost the use of my right arm. I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't move my right shoulder. And it made it really difficult to practice. So finally I went and had a doctor look at it. And he goes, well, you got a serious problem. And I had a serious problem in all my joints that was called avascular necrosis. And I was told in 1998 that if I lived 3 years, I would have to have all my joints replaced. And I told my doctors, well, thanks, but no thanks. What's causing the problem? Well, we don't have any idea what's causing it. We just know that you have it. And I said, good. Then you don't have any idea how to treat it if you have no idea why it's there. So I never went into agreement with the prognosis or the diagnosis of being dead or dismembered in a short period of time in my life. And instead I went to a friend of mine who does alternative and nutritional medicine. I never doubted that I would beat this, I would get better. And we determined that it was from mercury and heavy metal poisoning. And with that starting point in mind, we were able then to really do a series of actions based upon the unshakable belief that I would recover from this challenge. And today, in 1998, I was one of 4 people in the world who had advanced avascular necrosis in all their major joints, confirmed by MRI. Today, I am the only person in the world who has successfully put advanced avascular necrosis into full remission for 18 years, and I have not had any joints replaced. I have full range of motion in my joints, and I have to be careful, but that's about the only restriction that I have. So, folks, our beliefs truly do create our futures and our manifestations as they are currently unfolding for us. So let's be vigilant about our agreements. Let's be vigilant about truly feeling the joy of understanding that every one of us on this call, on the panel and listening in, has the power to accomplish exactly these and greater results themselves if they go into agreement, truly believe, and truly desire to do so. Thanks, and back to you, Monica.
Wow. Thank you, Doc Fran. I mean, goodbye, victim consciousness. Let's take our power back, and to really master that. I think that's why we are all in this journey, and your examples are really truthful, human. It's like, yeah, if you did it, we all can do that, and I'm sure we all have examples inside where we did it. And I love what you said. Like, I was not even the conscious that I am today, and to me, it's like the more conscious I get, the more difficult this becomes. But I think the more aware I am on the other side, that pulls me back, So it's a matter of, thank you, forgiveness, a lot of forgiveness for not having, for all the residual conditioning that I have here, and focus on the joy, the beauty of my life, and the gratitude and everything. So thank you so much, Dr. Frank, for the inspiration.
You're welcome. You key in a beautiful thought, and it is much as the more conscious we get. Remember, every thought is a dual thought. It's an intention and a counter intention. And so the more conscious you get, then the more aggressive your ego gets at focusing on the counter intention thought. So we talk ourselves out of manifesting because it's much easier to believe that it can't be done than it can be done. And so be kind to yourself. When those thoughts occur, and they're going to occur all the time, just say, thank you, I appreciate what you're trying to do to me. I don't need that. I already know what direction I want and truly desire to go in. And forgive yourself and move forward.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Fran, and thank you. We are going to close today. We went long, but I mean, this topic is so powerful. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And the ones that are on the other side, if you want to come here, please email Arne, A-R-N-E, at unlimitednetwork.com, and then we can send you the special link that we have. And next week, we are going to start on page 111 for you to take notice about that. So we will start from there. And we will keep growing here all together. So it's so nice to be like-minded here with the same intention. So I know that we are attracting more and more thoughts, like we learned today on the chapter. When we think about something, we attract more things of that something. Where the more together we are, the better. So I really appreciate this perseverance and attitude that we all have here. And I wish you a wonderful Halloween. Choose very careful your costume and have a wonderful week, and we see each other next Saturday 10 a.m. and I think this weekend you changed the time on United States, so be aware of that. And thank you so much, guys. I love you all, and have a wonderful week. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Wonderful.